Hey crew, what's up?
This is the Train Together podcast, a guided weights workout. I'm Lana Parks.
And I'm Jack Faulkner.
We're best mates, parents, and experienced personal trainers based in Byron Bay, Australia.
The Train Together podcast is here to help you feel good, move well, and do more of the stuff you love. We nail the basics with simple and sustainable training that complements your life instead of taking over it.
No matter where you're at with your training journey, we will give you everything you need to be confident with your training and get strong for life.
With us in your ears, you'll know what to do, when to do it, and how to lift properly.
We're here to give you high quality guidance and do all of the hard work so you can just show up, put your headphones in, and train hard.
But don't worry, there'll be plenty of banter, shits and giggles along the way.
The Train Together podcast.
It's a workout in your ears.
Let's go! We would like to start by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we are recording today, the Arakwal people of the Bundjalung Nation. We would also like to pay our respects to elders past and present.
You're listening to the Train Together podcast with Lana Parks and Jack Faulkner.
Hey crew, what's up?
Welcome to episode 6 of the Train Together podcast. We are your hosts, Jack Faulkner and Lana Parks. And this episode is going to be light-hearted. Okay?
Short and sweet.
Short and sweet. We're going to run through what it took for us to start a gym, where we were meant to start and where we are now. But before we do, we're going to learn, or you guys are going to learn a little bit about us and what we think of each other, or maybe what we think is funny about each other.
Yes, some fun, just absolutely random facts. So what, am I starting first? Okay,
Yep.
So I'm going to give you guys a little something about myself. I forget what it is already.
Come on, you just said, wait a minute, don't press the button.
I feel like that could almost be one. I am the most undecisive, forgetful person ever.
You're painting a picture of yourself as someone that you're not when you say that though. Like, even though you are those things, you are very like empathetic and caring and like, you do care a lot.
Yeah, but
so I think
also
that those things
sometimes
kind of
through one ear out the
Yeah, I know. When I just
Maybe
start
that's just
talking.
when you're speaking. Okay. I'm going to go with a fun little random fact about Jack first, which I think is so funny. He fits the PT profile like a T, right? But when I first met this dude and he told me the jobs he listed off that he had done, I'm like, bro, what have you not done? And also, you're like 12. How have you fitted this all in into
like
your life?
22 when we
So
met.
what have you done? Let's fire these away. You've been a door knocker for HelloFresh.
Door knocker for HelloFresh.
You've
I
been
sold
a nanny.
fidget spinners. Oh yeah, I was a nanny.
Fidget spinners?
You know those little like spinny things? I sold those in the markets of Bondi.
In a markets at Bondi? That is so random.
I worked in removals before I left the UK. I got paid to play rugby. I was a lifeguard. I wrote the copy for websites that sell you those, you know, like TVSN, where they sell you like, this is the best knife set you'll ever have.
Oh
this
my
sharpener
gosh.
sharpens your knife more than any sharp
Yeah.
knife.
Yeah,
I can't, obviously don't do it anymore, do I?
Jack of all trades, right? But you've been in this job for a hot minute, so I think you've finally found.
I haven't dabbled in anything else recently.
No. Except trying to podcast.
Trying to be a podcaster. How's that going for you, Jack? Well,
Oh, that is funny. And for myself, that's what I was gonna say. This isn't so much a fun. I don't know. It's a random. Cool. No, what was I going to say?
you're going to do a party trick. What was your party trick?
There
the
you
thing
go.
you could do?
So this is really random. This is just weird.
Something you need to know.
Yeah, there you go. You just sparked. Yeah, something you need to know. No, this would be like what I think would be my special talent. My party trick is that I think if I wasn't doing what I was doing, I could be a professional napper.
Oh yeah, that was your
Like,
special skill.
It's my special skill. I can lay down on the couch, power nap for 20 minutes, set an alarm for 21 minutes, and I'll wake up like just before the alarm's about to go off, and then I'm good to go again.
You're good at that.
So I think, that's so random, but anyway.
No, that's a good one. It's
Yeah.
a nice skill to have. And 15 minutes of sleep does you a world of wonder in the middle of the day.
A little siesta, I'm all about it.
Nails it.
All right, what do you got?
Well, a little fact about me is that I moved to Australia when I was 19 and married an Australian woman when I was 22, which is wild. My sister came to Australia to live for a little bit when she was 22, and I was like, what was I doing? What was Erin doing? She must have looked at me like, this guy's a baby. Like, she must have seen the potential. And like, I'm going to lock that down. But I don't know what she was thinking, because I would have been a bub as well. And
Cradle snatcher.
I know. Yeah, Ez, that's you. But people
Love you, Ez.
travel from the UK to come to a wedding. A 22-year-old, they must have been thinking like,
This is
what's
weird.
is this like an arranged marriage or something?
Yeah, visa chasing.
Yeah, I know. Well, I got that out of it, didn't I? No, and then ended up with 3 kids and a lovely dog and a good business partner and all those things. So yeah, it worked pretty well. And then my thing about Lana, so I was going to say something really nice, but
I know
and then
what you're going to say.
You kind of got it out of me earlier.
Oh, really?
Because now you're doing that.
I knew that was going to
No,
come.
I was going to say just that you're really empathetic and really caring. So sometimes she cares too much about what other people think, and it's a detriment, but it's also really lovely, because if you ever ask Lana for something or need her, she'll be there and do it, and she'll probably ever think about that on the process. But
no, I'm just laughing because you're saying nice things, and my thing about you was just being like, what the heck, writing you off, not writing you off.
But my next thing, so I had like 2 funnier things just more facts that you need to know about Lana. When she gets a little bit nervous and is unsure, her eyebrows go up and down. So recently she started training people in the gym again, and she was telling me that she was going to have 2 people in the gym, and I was like, 2 people? I was just a bit surprised, and she tried to get all on her high horse and had the eyebrows going and stuff, and I was just like giggling because I was just surprised but not actually annoyed, and I was like, this is going to be a small space for 3 people, but it works really well.
Yeah,
and the last is that she will have 2 beers and looks like she's had 10. Eyes just go. She just like glazed over. Are you 2 beers deep? Are you 10 beers deep? Who knows? But you're having a good time though.
Always, always.
You're listening to the Train Together podcast with Lana Parks and Jack Faulkner.
So let's chat all things Continuum, how Continuum came to be, what is Continuum? Oh no, we don't need to say what is Continuum. Everyone knows what Continuum is. But how did we get to where we are?
Yeah, and
living the good life.
It's pretty sweet. It nearly was pretty hectic, wasn't it? So where did we start?
Yeah, so we started at Chef Naughty 5.
Yeah, I think you just need to start saying it.
We started at F45. Team training, life-changing.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, let's not get into that. Look, it's great community vibes, blah, blah, blah.
It ticked a lot of boxes. We learned a lot from being there.
I mean, I'm grateful for it.
Me too.
Kicked off my, I'm not shitting on it. I'm grateful for it. I learnt a lot through it. It kick-started my career. Is that what I call it? A career.
Legends.
Yeah, met some legends. I had a great time. I had some really great opportunities, met some absolute legends along the way, like on the gym floor working, and then like the crew members or the team members. The team.
They're now our crew.
But basically, we met on the gym floor.
Yeah.
And
it went from there. We started hanging out together, training together, filling our days
together.
Hey, and we would surf together, and we're doing all sorts of things. And we've said it a couple of times, you might have heard the story where we just looked at each other and said, fuck, we can do this better. Because there's a reason F45 isn't really kicking around anymore in Australia. Most people have tried it, made their opinion up on it, and are knowledgeable to the fact that it doesn't tick the boxes how it used to, and a few other people are doing it better. So we thought that we could do it better, and I was harping on Lana for ages let's do this, let's do this. And a couple of our clients at the time said, do you guys want to do your own thing? Like, we'll back you. And I was like, called their bluff. All right, put your money where your mouth is. They said, make a business plan. And we said, all right, we'll come up with a concept. There's a couple of amazing spaces in Bondi Junction that we were looking at. Way too expensive. And
oh God, we were a bit out of our league, I feel. Like, looking back on it, you've obviously got to shoot high, right? We also had time for days without kids, right? I was like, what did I used to do with my free time? And then I remember we used to have time to do that stuff. It would have been wild.
Yeah, the spaces that we were looking at were next level, but they were slightly unachievable. You know, when you have an idea of what you're going to do in your head, and you're like, this would be perfect, but you have to settle. And I was messaging real estates about these places, and they're probably, I don't know if they were thinking, who is this kook? Like, what is he on about? He's asking these questions, asking for $1 million months free rent and this and that, because I was like, this is the only way it's going to work. Then once we got this idea flowing, we really refined what Continuum was going to be. And it was going to be a product for busy people in Bondi Junction that wanted to get a good weight session done, so still sticking to our current principles, but they were going to be able to start every 5 minutes. So that gym was going to be basically on a conveyor belt.
Wait, maybe just don't spit this all out. We might one day get this rolling again.
Nah, if you want this idea, take it. Just send us a thank you. I don't want. We're not going to do it. But it's like basically you could walk in the room or walk in, say hello to the person at the desk, or tick your name off, and your first station is a warm-up station. You've got it on the screen. It's cycling through your 5 minutes there. Once you've done that one, you cycle to the second one, and you have your first exercise, your squat, your 100 seconds per set, and you do 3 sets, and then you move on to the next one. There was about 6 to 9 stations in the room. At the end, there was a really cool little cool-down area with massage guns and rollers and everything. Yeah, and then you had your nice showers and everything at the far end. So it was a really cool flow through, and it just meant that people didn't. It
was a continuum.
Yes, exactly. It was continuous, and you could just show up at a 5-minute interval, work your way through. You still had the community element of it because you would cross over with the same people. You had trainers on the floor helping you wherever you were at in your workout, and you just flowed through that.
Sounds like a pretty good idea, actually.
It was, and it was nearly going to work, and then why didn't it work?
COVID-19.
Yeah,
that
old
thing?
chestnut.
Yeah, the coronavirus.
I literally
had coronavirus.
Oh mate, it killed it, but I'm very thankful for it because we had that lease in our inbox, and we were like, it was with our lawyer, and we were days away from signing it, and I went to the UK. Do you remember I broke my arm?
Yeah, skateboarding.
And I was walking to Coogee every morning to work at F45 and back, and then I went back to the UK, and on my way back, I was sat in an airport with this guy, and he was showing me videos of these people in China getting locked or welded into rooms because they had COVID. And I was like, this is fake. Right. And then when I got to Australia, a couple of cases, and I just got on a call with everybody and said, where are we at? A couple of the investors were really keen. Yeah. A couple were not so keen. And then I just said, nah.
I remember chatting to one person, and we were messaging in a group chat, and I said, no way is this going to kick off. There's no way this is going to flare up. And I think they said, no, it's about to turn insane. And I had no idea. I couldn't comprehend that in my head, and fair enough. Shit hit the fucking fan.
Yeah, and I'm so thankful because if we had that lease and we massive fit out, investors to pay back, people to pay, and members to try and get, I would have no hair right now.
No.
Yeah.
Imagine how different life would be right now, like kids-wise. Yeah. Still, imagine if we were still in Sydney.
Oh, I don't know what it would look like. You need a lot of money to be able to live in Sydney these days.
Yeah, anyway. But then we came up to Byron and I guess came to my parents' joint.
Yep.
It was free, ready for rent, and...
It wasn't free.
Well, no, it was vacant. It was vacant.
Yeah.
It was vacant. And that brings us to the good old double garage conversion.
Yeah, I know. It's a pretty big garage. So the space we're in now, big double garage. It's got a toilet in here. It's oversized, and we just made it Continuum training with a different format.
Right, but like on an insanely smaller scale than what we were going to do, but I'm very grateful because I feel like it's the perfect mix between PT, group training. Yeah, it's a good vibe.
We've nailed it, and it delivers what we want to deliver, and I would still love to have a bigger space because in our current setup, we don't actually work together.
Yes.
And that's something we always loved was Lana has really good energy. She's a solid trainer, and I'm a little bit more of a straight shooter, whereas I'm like a little bit more, let's get it done, all right? We're not here to fuck spiders. Let's get after it.
Yeah, my sessions always run like 2 minutes over because there's a bit of yapping going on.
And I'm like, all right, lift your weights. I'm like, yeah, I'm listening, but just pick that weight up right there.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where we're at, and we could, if we could have that again, if it was just double the size, it would be really, really good.
But rent is so expensive that it's just not viable at the moment. So
no, and there's definitely, we want to just help as many people as possible, and we see this podcast as a way to do that.
Yeah.
So basically, that's a little overview of our story. We started out at 45. We trained together. We
Sorry,
trained
I didn't
hard.
realize you were. Yeah.
No, it's cool. We trained together. We trained hard, and then we had a big concept, a big idea, and then that didn't happen. COVID. We both moved up here.
Scaled it back. Yeah, threw some kids in the mix. There's 4 kids in the mix there as well.
Started with a very bare double garage, which now has the perfect amount of equipment in here.
It does, and we've kind of evolved that over time as well, right? We've continued to add certain things, and I feel like we've upgraded, you know. I feel like we've got the perfect vibe going. I mean, there's 1 or 2 things that would be ideal, but space-wise, probably not viable. But for what we do, 4 people, 1 coach in here, I think it's like bang on.
You're listening to the Train Together podcast with Lana Parks and Jack Faulkner. So, what are your taglines for continuing training? What are the things that sell it? Go on.
What for?
Like, I'm talking PT without the price tag.
Strong for life. There you go, straight away. PT without the price tag. Don't get lost in the room, right? The ratio of 4 people in here with 1 coach is unmatchable, in my opinion.
PT.
Community vibe, right?
The value to matchable. So PT is amazing, all right? And some people, they want their weights changed for them. Half the people in the bloody Continuum crew want their weights changed for them anyway. They'll stand there, come on, Jackie boy, and they'll hustle around the room. But no, people want their weight changed. They want to be told exactly what to do. They don't want to think. And that is fine. If you've got the money to do it, it's good. But when you just need the guidance, you need that little bit of input.
Accountability.
Yeah, then that is why Continuum is amazing, because it is a third the price of PT sessions. You can basically get 3 workouts for 1 with a PT with a really, really small group. Yeah,
and you get that community vibe as well. So you get, like we said, we've basically picked bits from the group training aspect, the PT aspect, and thrown it all in together, right?
Exactly. So we took everything we learned in group training, everything we've done in PT, and then our personal training journeys, and we've combined the best parts of all of it to give 3 full body weight sessions a week that give you the frequency and the results that people actually want from training.
Love it. How good.
I know. That is continuing training and where we started, where we're at now, and I'm sure that will change at some point in the future. Yeah,
we're going to continue to keep growing. We're going to keep building, keep evolving, keep the continuum alive.
That's it. Because what is a continuum? Do you remember the definition?
You go for it. You tell us.
Go on, you tell me.
No, you tell us.
So a continuum is something that changes in small, slight stages over time. And that is what we do. That is what fitness is to us, and that is what we deliver people. So if you want to get involved, you can do it 1 or 2 ways. You can come and train together with us in person at the Continuum base in Byron Bay, or you can train with us online with the Train Together podcast. You can put a workout in your ears, a guided weights workout, or you can use our app where there's 3 full body weight sessions a week, in-depth video tutorials, and a little crew on there with some guidance from us as well.
Love it. That's about it.
Train, track, progress. Do you remember that one?
I hated that. Yeah. I love it, but I hate it. It sounded like train, track.
Yeah. Basically, before we were Strong for Life, it was train, track, progress, with a full stop in between. But if you said it fast, it didn't go very well. Because
train, track, progress.
Train, track, progress. Train, track, progress. Because if you train well,
it's
you track,
the process,
you will make progress.
Yes. Let's go.
See ya.